It's a big bass, boys. Please. Okay guys, I've shown this before, but it's worth just going over my rig again quickly. So 4-row circle hook. There's going to be 2 circle hooks. One fish that way and one fish that way. And you'll see what I mean as I tie the rig. The idea is you've got an effectively fishing hook at the top of the bait and effectively fishing hook at the bottom of the bait as well. And I fix mine in place. So the line initially goes in from the top of the eye, like so, top. Then pinch it, wind down the shank 5-6 times, and then you go back through the back of the eye, and then you put it tight, and then that's sort of kinked out there like that, which allows the hook to work properly. See? So you want your line to be exiting that side of the eye. Yeah. That's the bottom hook tied. Now I've got squid today that I've got off the boat. I actually considered taking the boat out today, but I've come down here. The reef is calling, so this red's coming off these hooks. Set your length of the bait that you're fishing. So I'm going to be fishing long strips of squid that are going to be whipped on. Now that hook's on that side. I want that hook on that side, fishing on that side like that. See? So same again, through the back of the eye, alongside the shank, line going down. It's like tying a big a hair rig for a carp fishing, like a boilie. So that's like that. It's a knotless knot. And then you go back down the shank again, exactly the same as you did with the bottom hook, and then flip it, and then back through the eye. You can't get simpler, but that rig works absolutely killer rig, like that. So you got one fish in that side, and you know, one fish in that side if it when you put your bait on. So if it grabs it that side, it grabs it that side. That rig does the business. So this is a squid that I had in the boat. Can't get better than that. Sussex squid. This is from the autumn, winter season. So I want a long thinnish bait, like a long thin sausage. I don't want a big blobby chunk. I want a long thin sausage so they can suck it up easily. Those hooks go into the mouth, and when they turn, the hooks turn, and then the hook, generally in the scissors, sometimes in the bottom lip. Now if you put a big fat bait on that, it's going to be shrouding the hooks and not letting the hooks work. You can put one big circle on the bottom. I'll do a big round bait if you want, but just hook it through the top. But I prefer to have two hooks, and the circles not only are better at hooking, but they're less likely to snag on the reef. I mean, look at the terrain. This is the sort of terrain the bass are moving into, and it's a paradise for bass down here. When you're lifting these stones, I mean, I've had a little lift a minute ago, and like, there are absolutely loads of gobies under them and stuff like that, and of course there's nothing under that one. Oh, let's have a look and see what's under this one. See, look at that. Big fat goby. There's tons of them. And crabs. So, what are the bass doing? They're feeding. It's coming up to the, you know, they've been spawning. I had a very nice fish in January. I'll put a clip of that on now. 2026, off to a good one. Oh yes. Come on. Beautiful fish. Beautiful fish. And it's just coughed up that. Being on the herring, unsurprising because there's been tons of them offshore, close to shore and further out. Come on. Yes. Well, that's a 63, that's a very nice fish. Massive mouth, huge head, perfect condition. Prime January bass, that. Right. Massive head. Booyaka! Yeah, absolutely stunning, bright blue, colours all over its gills and its head, and yeah, fat as a barrel, really big head on it. And that was in January, and that was on squid again, and it had been feeding on little porcelain crabs, those water fleas. But you know, this is like a banquet for bass down here. That bubbling water, perfect. So I'm just going to be fishing my usual marks around here. I was going to go somewhere else, but I've just come down here today, as I know the area so well. So yeah, I'm going to be getting that squid baited and then casting quite close as usual. So I'll show you what I do with this anyway. So I want it about hand's length, so the length of the bait. If I take a chunk of that off, keep that, and then what I'm going to do is take a slice along it, and then take that innards bit out, and the quill out. It just makes it stiff unnecessarily. I want a flexible bait. Now this top hook goes right through the tip of the squid, the pointy end, and I want that pretty much exposed, that top hook. You'll see in a minute. And then with this bottom one, where you know it's going to line up, where you know it's going to lie there, you want the hook to exit of the bait there. So I just figure that out, hook that through, and then when you pull that tight, what's going to happen is, it's come out. What's it? I'm going to pinch that, just so, and then get your elastic. Oh, fiddly today. It's not normally this fiddly. Out of practice, that's what it is. And then that bottom hook is pinched in there like that, look. And then don't be scared of whipping it on. You want the hook to be fixed in place so that it's fishing. The mechanics of the hook you want to work. Now, there's other ways that I rig this rig for different baits. If you go to my TikTok, Hook, Line, Trigger, I've done shorts on that for you to see what I'm talking about, mackerel, etc. So I get that top hook and I want to whip that onto the bend of the hook. It's going to move a little bit, but just trap it in there like that. It's okay if it moves slightly. And then that's a beautiful bait, that. What you can do, what I usually do, is if you get a bit of the head or the tentacles, let's make it look very natural. The long ones like this, trim them off. You can use this bit as well. Put that all back in there. That's stunning bait. Now, through there, this is just to sort of keep it in place. You'll see what I'm on about. One. In an 8.5 slippy squid. But he stinks as well if you don't clear your box out properly. Right, so now we've got those two tentacles like this, look. Doesn't that look like a natural bait? Oh, I've gone around there. What's that? Now this is where your elastic comes in handy again. So you just want to whip that. And we do have a spring run of squid. We'll need the water. I've opened plenty of bass in the past that have had squid and cuttlefish in them. And that is just a beautiful bait. Couple of roundies, snap it off. Bosh, look at that. Squid goes back in the bag. Goes in the top of the box. Hand cloth, always needed. And look at that. That's been wafting around in the current. That looks like a, you know, recently deceased squid to me. And it works for the bass. Right. Get a lead. Get that on. Well, that's your rig. Three or 4 foot of 30-pound line, and then your bait, which I've just described. And then rod wise, it's just a. At the moment, I'm using this old Shimano Beastmaster. It's really nice. It's 12 foot, big comfy handle on it, and it's a little bit tippy, but it's got a good backbone. And then it's just a surf blaster to 7,000 bait runner. The reason I like the bait runner is once you've cast out and your lead's in position, if you need to move back at all, instead of faffing around with the drag, you can just click the bait runner on and then walk back without moving your lead, and then just click it back over again. So it's really convenient. So let's get that out there. Well, it certainly feels bassy. So firstly, this is a deep pool here, so I'm just going to plop it off that in there. Sit down, nice, and enjoy the sun. And wait for that magical rip intake. The tug is the drug. And they're not wrong. So yeah, that's fishing in there. So the tide is ebbing now. We've got about another half an hour on the ebb, I think. And then it'll be slack water, and then the tide will flood. And as I say, I'll be mooching up and down today and trying different areas. I won't be leaving it for ages in one spot. It's the beauty of the daytime fishing. nights, obviously it's easy to see. You can sort of scoot about on the reef a lot easier than you can in the night. Sometimes it's a bit trickier. I mean, I know where I am and I know the reef, but even so, when it's really dark, especially if there's mist in the air, I wear glasses and I can't not wear glasses, and it gets really annoying. So you can get a little bit sort of discombobulated, if you like, and you don't want to be slipping and sliding, walking around so much in the dark. So you do find you probably end up fishing a bit more static than in the day. In the day you can go, oh, I like the look of that bit there, I like the look of that bit, and you can just plop it into different areas, see what's happening. Beautiful. It's just a treat for it to not be raining and crazy wind. Somebody out on the boat there. Good luck, mate, wherever you're going. Probably doing a bit of placing, I think, inshore. That's what I'd be doing if I was out on the boat today. That is jumping around a bit though, that. Nice boat though, it's V-hull on it, planing hull, like, it cuts through the waves more. Mine's a cathedral hull, which is stable, but it can slam like mad. He's steaming there though. Not as many boats out as I was expected, to be fair. I mean, it is still sort of like 9-10 mile an hour southerly, so it's going to kick up a swell, which is ideal for the shore bassing. Right, I've given that 10 minutes in there, so I'm just going to, I want to get it into that aerated water a little bit further out. So I'm just moving round to a more favourable position for casting, keeping the bait in the water the whole time. If you can, keep the bait in the water when you're moving. Like, there's no point in taking the bait out to move, because there might be a bass near it, you know what I mean? You just want the bait in the water at all times if you can. So this is an old, so I'm going to pull it up now, he says. Snagged. See, this is what happens sometimes, I mean. It's alright. Got it. Alright. If you're ever snagged, you change the angle. Obviously, if you've been fishing that way and it's snagged that way, if you can get on the other side of it and pull it, usually you get it clear, like I just did then. Let's have it there. Just thumping take, ripped round. Come on. There it is. Oh my god, it feels like a good one. It's a big bass. It's a big bass, boys. Please. That's a chunk. Look at that for a February fish. Absolutely perfect. Just hooked in the scissors. Ow, shit. It's got me. We find a rock pool to put it in, because that is a unit. Look at the belly on it. Look at the belly on it. There's a rock pool over here that I use at times. That was a thumping take, that. I think I missed it on the camera. Let's get it in this one here. Okay guys, let's get it on there. Strong fish, strong. $66. Well, that's a very welcome fish. Let's get it on the sling. Beautiful. Right, let's get you back. Let's get it into that oxygenated water. There we go. Got a fin on it. Go on, mate. Yes!